All right, coming up in today's video, we're doing the market recap for August. Coming up next, let's talk about it. Stay tuned. Pow. All right, we are back from the long weekend. Hope everyone had a great Labor Day weekend on top of obviously a great summer. School is back. Kids are going back. Let's get down to the numbers. So essentially today, I'm going to do a breakdown of August's numbers. We're going to do a comparison of last year's August numbers. Then we're just going to briefly look at the month-over-month comparison. And lastly, we're going to go into a more specific breakdown of the home type in terms of sales, just to give you an idea of what's happening in the detached, semi-detached, townhouse, and condo markets. So stay tuned. But getting into it, let's talk about August's numbers for this month. Now, sales hit 6,839. Like I said, we will do a comparison of last year, but just going to the numbers, average price was at just over 765,000. Active listings are over 17,664. New listings is just just reached over 12,000. Now, days on market has jumped up, and we're sitting around 27 days of inventory on the market. Now, still very, very in favored for sellers. Buyers, depending on the price range, you're seeing very competitive, especially in Toronto, semi-detached properties and down, a lot of bidding wars. So it's very competitive out there. All right, so when it comes to comparing last year's numbers, the good news is when we're comparing last year, all down the pipeline, you got all positive numbers trending up from last year. And if you remember last year, we were in the market corrections phase. We're rebuilding in terms of at the peak, and it came down, and then it started to, these numbers that we're looking at were more, accurate in terms of what's going on with the actual market and the hype kind of dying down. So when we look at last year in terms of sales, we're up 8.5%. When it comes down to the actual average sales price, we're up 4.7%. So again, like I said, these numbers are nice to see in the positive year-over-year basis. Active listings up 8.8%, which is great because, like I said, this number is still very, very low, and we need to obviously work on this in terms of getting sellers out to sell their properties so buyers can jump in and kind of work with the supply and the demand there. Days on market is up from 25 to 27. So again, these numbers are very, very low in terms of with active listings on there, and depending on price points, in Toronto's market, it's very, very competitive. Anything under $1 million is extremely competitive. Semi-detached, very hard to get detached in that price range. But semi-detached, I find like anywhere from the magic numbers like $599 to $699 advertising, and stuff hitting $7, $8, even $1 million. So understanding if you're in that price range, what you're looking for and what you're getting and what they're advertising is going to be very frustrating if you think you can get into some of these properties for like $700,000 when they end up going for hundreds of thousands of dollars more, and obviously creates a lot of frustration. But understand, working with the right agent to kind of guide you through this is going to be very important, just so you're not setting yourself up for failure all the time and wasting a lot of valuable time, because these numbers will continue to climb up because inventory is just so low. So until we start seeing inventory hitting, I like to see it around like 3.5 months of inventory. Like I said, right now we're hitting 2.5, so it's very, very low in comparison to what a little more balanced. But keep an eye on it, guys. Now, pulling up the month-over-month statistics here, we're looking at obviously August, or say July to August. Now, sales have dropped. Now, this is more of a red factor coming in here, because you have sales dropping from 6,961 to obviously 6,800. So not by much, but it is dropping. Sales price, average sales price is down It was at obviously 782, and we're at 765. So again, another trending down number. Active listings, which, like I said, to me, this number, we definitely want this number more higher. It's considerably very low, and again, that's trended down. And essentially, your days on market again has climbed down. So all in all, when we look at the data, you know, again, you have this narrative of low inventory, which is obviously creating this dilemma for sellers to, you know, if they do put their properties on the market, where are they going? And for that reason, you have a lot more people staying put until they figure out what they're trying to do in the big, you know, long scale of their where they're at in their lives. So it's creating like this huge pocket of you know, very competitive nature with buyers. Like I said, we're not seeing as much bidding wars, but certain price points in certain areas happens on a daily, so you definitely need to be jumping into stuff. Like I said, some properties, when they're setting up for bidding wars, you're looking at about a week. Usually, you know, you get a weekend to get into the property. But like I said, preemptive offers going in before review dates, snagging properties is happening. I missed out on a bunch of properties. It was day 2 going into them and already sold. So like I said, very frustrating when you're on the buying side. Sellers obviously kind of laughing with inventory, but something to keep in mind when either listing or buying is, like I said, properly analyzing and preparing yourself to either some fast action or, you know, maybe a longer marketing, you know, strategy in terms of price points. So keep in mind. Okay, last but not least, guys, like I said, I want to cover the breakdown of detached, semi-detached condo and townhouses to, you know, give you a better understanding of, you know, at the end of the day, these numbers, I like where they're at because of the sales that are starting to drum up under detached homes. Because for the last couple months, you've had the condo market and well, even townhouse, we'll throw them in there, kind of the bulk of the sales versus the bigger properties not selling as well, which is obviously causing, you know, a lot of issues. And like I said, if it comes down to like a lot of people selling their detached home, there's not really a big inventory of where they can go unless they are downsizing right to condos. And like I said, if you kind of been around homes for the last 20 years, sometimes people are not in that state to kind of tackle condos, especially for the price points that condos are going at, and with space. If you're still looking for a good amount of square footage in your condo, it becomes very expensive. So we're gonna dive into the numbers because, like I said, the numbers on detached, I do like these numbers and where they're trending. We're gonna talk about the sales amount and then year over year, what's happened from last year. So just diving into it, it's a breakdown of 416 and 905 area codes. So if you look at detached, you have 619 sales from, and also 905, which obviously the majority, its bigger market, is 2,382, a total of 3,001. When we go further down, semi-detached, you have the total sales 577, and townhouses total sales 1143, and condo apartments you're looking at total sales of 2,000. So typically you've had the townhouse and condo apartments, you know, if you combine them, they're looking at 3143 in total. But now you have you know, detached and semi beating that, which, like I said, because they're higher price points, as long as that continues to trend up, you're gonna have your overall sales price continue to move forward. It might jump up because obviously condos on a, you know, general basis are a lot less, more affordable, which is obviously a little more cheaper than getting into the bigger property. So it's good to see that those numbers are climbing. Now, when we look year over year, in terms of the percentage of change, you're looking at, and we'll just get into the totals here, 17.7% increase from last year. Semi-detached is down, and then townhouse is up 5%, and condo apartments just up 0.7%. So that number of 17.7 is a great number because it's showing that obviously more and more people on the detached are finally coming into the market. Very still low inventory, so we really need obviously more sellers to kind of put their properties on the market to obviously, you know, supply the demand that's out there. But right now, low inventory, price is going to continue to climb. That's your market update. I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Comment, like, and share. And hopefully you had a great summer. Fall's coming up, so we'll see what's going on with the market, guys. Take care.